Welcome to the Legend of Grimrock Part 2. That's what we're going to be playing now. We're going to be starting a new game, and this is just the character creation. So the next video is going to be the gameplay. If you don't want to watch the character creation or you find it boring, move to the next video. We are going to get started, so that means I'm going to remove my crime-fighting gloves and my crime-fighting vambraces, which are now in much better repair than they were before. And we're going to roll up our sleeves because we don't want to look like a ding-dong. And first thing we're going to do is just show you that we've gone through the options here. I've set it a couple of things down. I made it so I'm in windowed mode so that things are going to be easier for me to maneuver with you guys. I've turned down my music and ambience just a bit. You can let me know during the game if this is too much. Same thing with the sound effects. I typically turn down my ambience. Sound effects are good. Ambience, I don't like to hear waterfalls and that kind of crap. One-click spellcasting. I look through these. Touchscreen mode, invert. None of you guys care about that. Enable arrow icons. Adds directional movement. User interface. No, I will not be moving with the mouse. I will use WASD and QE for turning. So I think we're good to go. One-click spellcasting. Cast spells automatically when mouse button is released after drawing a spell gesture. I think we can. We'll see what we have to do. So we're gonna apply that. That's fine. Load game. We have no games here. I have played very limitedly in this game, but I played the shit out of part 1. I've actually had this game, I bought it a couple of years ago, and I really haven't given it a fair go, but I love it. I just haven't had time for it. So let's go. New game. We are going to create our characters. Old school mode. This is something I like to do. I love drawing my own maps. I am a graph paper person. But for you guys' sake, I am not going to do that. Single-use crystals, that's insane. I would never do that. A crystal is basically a save point, and it also replenishes your health and mana. So taking that away means you're stuck waiting around, and I want to make this as fun as possible for you guys, so I'm not going to do that. Iron Man mode, I am going to select it. The game can only be saved at healing crystals. Beware, this option makes the game significantly harder. This option can't be changed after starting the game. I'm selecting this. What this basically means, because I have played this a little bit, it's a dungeon crawler, and you can't save scum. You can't go to a room and say, oh, this is going to be dangerous, better save, head in, get killed, and just, who cares? I want it to be intense. I want every room to be methodically thought about. This is what we're going with. Game difficulty, we are going to go with normal. There are 3 difficulties, and hard is probably a little too extreme. If I were going hard, maybe I'd turn off Iron Man mode. I don't know. Either way. We're good to go. This is our settings that we're going with. Apply. I have to let you know that I spent hours going through this. I already know what all my prisoners are going to be. This includes names and stats and everything, and I wrote it down on the screen. It's also going to be in the description for this. So if you don't want to watch me go through all of this right now, read the description. Hello, Green Power Ranger. You can't say hey, everyone, because I'm the only one here other than you, unless you're talking to yourself. So, we have our first person, and I'm going to make all of my characters Ratlings. They're all going to be Ratlings, okay? I thought about this intensely. I looked at it. That's what I want, and I'm going to show you all of the stats. So let's actually start by going through all of the race stats, and then the class stats, and then we'll start creating based on what I've already decided. Human. As a human, you belong to the most populous sentient race in the known world. You are very adaptable and can excel in all professions. You gain experience points 10% faster. The weakest of the races, if you ask me. Insectoid. As an insectoid, your thoughts are completely alien to other races. Your knowledge of the arcane is unrivaled. Insectoids come in many shapes and sizes, but most often their bodies are covered with a thick shell. Strength +1, dexterity -2, vitality -1, and willpower +2. Net gain and loss on the stats is actually 0. Okay? You can look at those all you want. +1, +2, whatever. All we care about in the end is 0. So on this, it's actually on the same level as the human. ±0. All it does is let you start at the beginning of the game with a higher or lower minimum maximum on any stat. Oh, and then your chance of getting body parts injured is reduced by 50%. That actually sounds really good. Insectoid sounds like a good race too. Lizard Man. As a wizard man, you are a social outcast and you are mistrusted by other races because of your capricious and deceitful nature. What you lack in social skills, you greatly make up for in stealth and dexterity. As you can see, with Dex +2 and Willpower -2, we are still sitting at the same big O, big zero. There's no net gain, but resist all plus 25% is huge. Resisting all spells 25%, I do have to admit that's amazing. Minotaur. As a Minotaur, you are bulky, simple, and quick to anger. Your incredible stubbornness is tolerated by others only because of your incredible prowess in combat. Strength +5, dexterity -4, vitality +4, willpower -3. Minotaurs have a game. They have +3 to their stats. To me, this is huge. I love stats, I love numbers, I like the numbers to be high. A Minotaur with high stats is great. I'm not a big fan of somebody with +5 strength having -4 dexterity, because in this game dexterity is also your accuracy for hitting, and that means you're just forced to put more into dexterity anyways. So yeah, you don't want, you hit like a truck but you never hit. Finally, the Ratling. Love it. As a Ratling, you may seem weak and disease-ridden on the surface, but you are actually one of the most adaptable and hardy creatures in the world. You are a hoarder by nature and greatly enjoy fiddling with mechanical contraptions. Okay, all that aside, look at this for a second. Strength -4. Dexterity +2. This is the only race that has a negative on their stats. Lowest numbers. Batman, why are you going with this character? They have the lowest numbers of anyone. Next, evasion +2. That's good for all characters. I don't care if you're in the front or back. Maximum load. That's your carry capacity, +15 kilograms. That's great. I like that. But it's not the main reason. You're also immune to diseases. So in this game with 4 rats, I will not even know what a disease is. I probably won't even realize that things are trying to disease me. And I'll be like, why is this high-level enemy so easy? Because they were designed to disease your whole party. So they're all rats. Next, I'm going to actually select their portraits because I already know who they're going to be. Let me just select a few things I'm not going to be using so I can cycle through these. You have to be moved here. There we go. Okay. My first character is going to be BuffoonBatman. Then this one is going to be, yep, that's my fighter. We're good. Then we're going to have this one, who's going to be one of, yeah, we'll get into this. I'm just selecting things right now. She's going to do this for me, and she is going to be here. The next thing we have to do, so bear with me. I hope you guys are in for this, Green Power Ranger, because right now this is just this. Next, we have the classes. Remember that any race can be any class. There is no limitation. It's not like, you know, humans can't be alchemists. That's an example. Let's go through these. Alchemist. As an alchemist, you brew potions and defend yourself in combat by wielding firearms. Now I looked through all these stats here. Health, 50, +6 per level. Energy, 50, +4 per level. Herbs in your inventory multiply. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a great thing, actually. And firearms have 50% less chance of malfunctioning. I almost took an alchemist for my back row, but I am going to let you know that if you look at the missile weapons here... Sorry, where is it? Is it missile weapons? No, it's firearms. Firearms. Look at the last thing of firearm. At the 5th level skill, you achieve firearm mastery and do not suffer from firearm malfunctions anymore. That makes half of the biggest perk of being an alchemist useless to you. So yeah, we didn't go with that. Let's continue a little bit quicker with these. Barbarian. As a barbarian, you do not care about finesse in combat. Instead, you rely on raw power and speed. 80 health and +10 per level. They're a raw tank with just their hit points. That's it. Energy, 30 +3 per level. Strength, +1 per level. That is huge. +1 strength per level actually makes the barbarian a very tempting character for me. But I do not like that they're... I don't know. They just don't seem as armored to me. You'll see what I mean. Next. The Battle Mage. As a Battle Mage, you are comfortable with fighting in the front row as well as blasting with spells from the back row. Health 50 +5 per level, energy 50 +5 per level, weight of equipped armor is reduced by 50%. That's huge, right? I mean, especially, you basically need that. If you're going to be a mage type, you have lower strength than usual, blah, blah, blah. You can cast spells with your bare hands, you gain protection +10, that's your armor this game, protection, and all +10 when equipped with magical staff. Resist all +10 when equipped with a magical staff or an orb. So that's a good amount of defense there. The only thing I don't like about this is Master of all trades. Not really. Sorry, Jack of all trades is really what it is. Farmer, useless class. It really is a useless class. I've never tried it. Maybe there's some sort of hidden thing later on, but I only played this game for a couple hours. As a farmer, you do not command great powers, and you do not know how to wield a sword. Instead, you're familiar with digging ditches for irrigation and the growth cycles of pit root plants. Basically, everything a successful adventurer would never need. Health, 30 plus 5 per level. That's piddly. Energy, 30 plus 5 per level. Like, look at these. You receive no skill points at the first level, and instead of slaying monsters to gain experience, you gain experience by eating food. Useless class. Fighter. As a fighter, you are a master of close combat. You are trained to use a wide variety of weapons. Health, 60 plus 7 per level. Energy, 30 plus 3 per level. Special attacks with melee weapons take half the time to build up and 25% less energy cost. So that's why I didn't go with a barbarian, because I like that. I like relying on my willpower a little bit more. Knight. As a knight, you believe that good preparation is the key to triumph in combat. You are specialized in wielding armor and using a shield. 60 plus 7 per level for health, and energy is 30 plus 3 per level. Protection plus 1 per level. Ooh, I like it. Weight of equipped armor is reduced by 50%. Very, very good, because our ratlings, even though they have plus 15 kilograms, they have lower strength than others. Evasion bonus of equipped shields is increased by 50%. So shields give you armor or protection, and they also give you evasion. So they give you like plus 7. Well, now it'd give you like plus 13. Or 11. Rogue. As a rogue, you're stealthy warrior. Prefer to use ranged weapons or light melee weapons. 45 plus 5 per level. Energy, 40 plus 5 per level. See, here's the problem with the rogue. The rogue isn't quite survivable enough in the front row, but also not enough damage to be in the back row. I mean, I like bows. I normally love rogues, but there's no treasure chest. You can't find traps and you can't pick locks. So basically that takes away everything that, to me, makes a rogue really, really powerful and required in a party. So they can dual wield and they increase their crit chance 1% per level. Hello, Roadie Pie. In this game, I will be able to pay attention to the chat room a lot. Final class. The Wizard. As a wizard, you use enchanted staves and orbs to command great mystical powers that can be used to cause harm or to protect. Health, 35 plus 3 per level, so fragile as fuck. Energy, 50 plus 7 per level. That's good. Willpower plus 2, and you can cast spells with your bare hands. Now that we've gone through the top area, this portion, I'm ready to actually make all my characters fill them out with these. So my knight is going to be a Ratling Knight. This here, I did write down all the names. He's going to be Beef Pizza Pie. And he's a Ratling fighter. Like I said, I was torn between fighter and barbarian a little bit, but a couple of others. I ended up going with the fighter because I do want to make the most out of my energy, and barbarians blow through it too fast, especially since they don't take a lot of willpower. Third, this one is going to be, I believe it's Terra Taco Yum. Let me just see. Yes. This is going to be Terra Taco Yum. The reason I called her Terra is as in like terra firma or terrain, because she's going to be an earth mage. She's going to be a Ratling wizard. And finally, they are all Ratlings. Yes, Roadie Pie, they're all Ratlings. There's human, insectoid, lizard-made, minotaur, and Ratling, and we're going with the Ratlings all the way. The last one, we're going to take a second wizard. Is this uncreative? Possibly, but I have a method for my madness. Okay, before we actually start going through the rest of my stats, I'm going to highlight everything. The purpose of this creation video is so that anybody can go back at any time and find out what all the stats do, what anything is, without asking me to highlight things, although I'm willing to do that during our gameplay. So let's take a look at what strength does. You have to keep in mind that all of these are useful. Every single one of these stats is useful to every single character. A wizard still can make you some strength. Strength. Strength increases your carrying capacity, fire resistance, and damage you deal with most melee and throwing weapons. So basically, strength is, it's a warrior thing. It's a frontline thing, but look, fire resistance is good, and carry capacity is good. Dexterity. Dexterity affects your accuracy, evasion, shock resistance, and damage you deal with many missile weapons. So very good for your frontliners as well, because evasion, shock resistance, and accuracy are all things I want in my front line. Again, Ratlings get a bonus for this. Vitality, crucial for every character in every character class. Vitality affects the normal amount of health points you have and your health regeneration rate. Now, I am big on regeneration, so I like that. Vitality also increases your poison resistance. Willpower. Willpower affects the amount of energy points you have and your energy regeneration rate. Willpower also increases your cold resistance. So, let's take a look at fire resist. This is a percentage. Look, heat-based attack, shock, poison, cold, self-explanatory. Don't need to go through these. Traits. Everybody gets 2 traits. Let's take a look at these. I'm going to go through them and I'm going to explain them. You're full of rage. Damage plus 4. That is melee and probably ranged attacks. Don't know for sure, but I'm not taking it anyways. Decent, but there is also muscular, which gives you plus 2 strength. And having 2 strength with all the perks that come with the stat, 2 strength is better than 4 damage, even though 2 strength is probably only 2 damage. Agile. Your reflexes are exceptional. Dexterity plus 2. Good. Good. I like stats. Aura. You have a potent aura. Energy plus 20. Energy plus 20. Look at what Strong Mind does. Plus 2 willpower. I think I'd rather have the willpower. Increases your maximum energy a little bit less, but also gives you additional regeneration. Only insectoids can get this, and I can't stress how powerful this one is, and I would love to be able to take it with everyone, but I can't. Your body is covered by a thick chitin shell. You gain protection plus 10. Very effective, I'm sure, at the beginning of the game. Probably still effective at the end. Cold-blooded. You're naturally resistant to cold. Cold resist plus 25. So, a quarter of the damage gone. Tell Carrie to read my message. She is in the bathtub. Carrie, Rody Pie would like you to read her message when you get out of the tub. She says K. Demon Ancestor, resistance to fire, plus 25%. Endurance, maximum carry capacity is increased by 25 kilograms and food consumption rate is decreased by 25%. To me, this is very powerful. But, I'd rather have the plus to strength, and we don't intend to go through that much food. We don't have any Minotaurs. This would be a really good for Minotaurs, I think. Lizard Man. Years spent living in the wilderness and you're resistant to the force of nature. Resist all plus 25%. Well, Lizard Men already have resistance. This makes them basically not immune to magic, but magic is useless against them. Evasive, plus 5 evasion. Good, unless you're wearing heavy armor and you take your evasion into the negatives. Fast Learner. Human, you gain experience 10% faster. This bonus is in addition to the experience bonus guaranteed by your race. To me, this is so useless. If you really want to gain levels, just spend a few minutes killing stuff. Don't waste one of your precious traits. If you feel underleveled, it's because you took this trait instead of something else that would make you stronger. Fast Metabolism. Your health and energy regenerate 30% faster while your food consumption rate increases by 20%. Additionally, healing potions are twice as effective for you. That's actually not bad. It's pretty decent. I don't know if it's worth a trait. Headhunter, plus 1 strength for each skull carried. I played Legend of Grimrock 1 a lot, and skulls are one of those things you would not want more than 1 Minotaur in your party, because you want to gather all your skulls for 1 Minotaur to carry. You don't want to split them up, because they're probably all fighters or barbarians or something. Healthy, you're exceptionally healthy. Vitality plus 2. Martial training. Plus 7 accuracy. That is a lot of accuracy. It really is. It's a tempting one. I actually considered this trait, but instead I said, you know what, I'm just going to add a little bit more to my dexterity for my fighter. Muscular, plus 2 strength. We already went through strength. Here is the ultimate in the game, right here. Mutation. Only rats can get this. One of your attribute scores chosen randomly increases by 1 when you gain a new level. Now, rats have 2 less stat points at first level than everyone else. Okay? Minotaurs have 3 more. So, by level 6, that's 5 levels up, I am equal to Minotaurs, and like everyone else is below me. So my Ratlings start off slow and shitty, but by level 3, they're on par with everyone else. By level 6, they're on par with a Minotaur, and after that, they're just powerful. Because remember what I said, strength, dexterity, vitality, and willpower are all extremely useful to all the classes. Jumping again, not watching the stats. Rody Pie, this is actually my 6 till 6:30 session, is this. The game starts at 6:30. You have 10 minutes. Natural armor, plus 5 protection. This seems so terrible considering that you could get plus 10 right here if you were an insectoid. So not good. Poison immunity. You're immune to poison. Okay. Natural armor, we went through that. Poison resistant plus 25% poison resistance. Poison resistant has to suck if you could just be a lizard man and be immune to it. Quick insectoids. Cooldown period for all actions you perform is decreased by 10%. Pretty good actually. You would read faster reflexes. Rage for minotaurs. Your strength is temporarily increased by 10 when you have less than 20% health remaining. Well, you better have a lot of health because at 20% you're basically on your deathbed. Skilled humans. Oh. You gain 1 extra skill point at the first level. It may only be used to raise this skill. Oh, never mind. That's not that great. I thought it was like +1 per level, but it's not. Strong mind. Mind is sharp as a needle. Willpower +2. Tough. +20 health. Now that we have that, let's go through these, because now, Rody, we're going to get through these pretty quick. Trait. Everyone, look at this. Mutation. 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 Now, for BuffoonBatman, my knight, our second trait is going to be, and I have it all down here, I think it's +2 vitality. This is my tank. Vitality is very good. So we're going to take healthy. And, let's see. We're going to increase our strength to 10. This is the base stat. So everything beyond that starts to give you your fire resistance, right? Everything below that should be giving me negative, but it doesn't. 10, 13, 17 vitality. This character is not supposed to die, and this character is not my damage dealer, so willpower is not important. I am going to go with... Oh, yeah, I have to go through all of these. So let's go and set up this block for everyone first. Next, we have my fighter. +5 strength for my fighter, okay? I want you to notice that as I do this, 1, 2, 3, my accuracy is increasing. Actually, let's go through this too. Protection, it's your armor. Physical attacks deal less damage. Evasion, you're less likely to be hit. Damage, well, that's how much damage you deal. Accuracy, this is your accuracy level. It goes up with your dexterity and other shit like your weapon. Critical, it's your chance of getting a critical hit, and max load is how much you can carry. There we go. Vitality, so also very important, and I do have it written down on the other screen what I wanted. I want 2, 1, 2. How come I don't have 2? $11, $15, $12, $12 is what I wanted. Oh, that must mean I have, let's see. Oh, I took Agile. Agile, -2, +2, +2. This is my second character. It is my fighter. And for skills, we're not going to do those yet. Next, this is Terra Takoyam. She's my wizard. She has no desire to have any strength, but look, she can still hold 48 kilograms, even with -4 on her strength, compared to starting. A human can hold 45 at 10 strength. So this is really good. That's where the Ratlings come in handy. And we're going to do a maximize, minimize here. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 willpower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vitality. And look, with +5 vitality, she's still only at 60 health. 95, 70, 60. Our trait is going to be strong mind for willpower +2. 19 willpower. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maxing out my vitality and willpower as far as I can here. Trait, strong mind once again. Whew, we're almost done here. Next, we have to go through these, and then we're going to start the game. Alchemy. Higher skill in alchemy allows you to brew a wider range of potions. To craft potions, you also need herbs and a mortar and pestle. At 4th level, you brew stronger healing and energy potions. At 5th level, you can craft bombs and get 3 bombs instead of 1. Athletics. Increase your health by 20 for each skill point. At the 3rd skill level, your carrying capacity is increased by 15. So probably going to need that for my fighter, because my fighter is doesn't have their armor cut in half, but they're going to be wearing heavy armor. Concentration increases your energy by 20 for each skill point. At 3rd level, your energy regeneration is increased by 25%. Light weapons, 20% stronger at every level, and then you can eventually dual wield. Heavy weapons plus 20% damage at every level, and eventually you can have 2-handed weapons in one hand. Missile weapons, so that's your bows and stuff. 4th level, your missile weapons ignore 20 points of the enemy's armor. That's pretty good. Throwing helps you throw. Firearms helps you firearms. Accuracy, increase your accuracy by 10. Holy shit, that's actually a lot. For each skill point, at 2nd level, you can perform melee attacks in the back row. I think my fighter's going to need to get a point in this fairly early on. Critical increases your chance to get a critical by 3% per level. You can eventually backstab. Armor increases how much armor you get from your armor by 5% for each skill point. At second level, you're proficient with light armor and you can wear it without penalties. Penalties is minus evasion. And at the 4th skill level, you can wear heavy armor without any evasion penalties. Dodge, well, you increase your dodge by 3 points per level. And cooldown period goes down by 10% at 3rd level. Fire, air, earth, and water magic that give you resistance at level 5 and plus 20% for whatever they are at their base levels. Whew, okay, Rhodey, now we're almost ready. I'm going to be on track to finish this as I wanted to. So BuffoonBatman here, he is my knight. I am going to give him proficiency in armor. You can only add 1 point. I start off with 2. And heavy weapons. The reason we want to go with heavy weapons is because we're going to be using a mace with this guy. Yeah. Wait, are all maces heavy? Of course they are. Of course maces are heavy. My fighter. Make sure I'm doing this. So my fighter does rely on his willpower a lot. We're going to actually give him concentration and heavy weapons. But they have survivability because of their vitality, etc. These are my wizards. This is Terra Takoyum. And Terra Takoyum, Terra is an earth. She's going to specialize in earth magic and concentration because you need to eventually get to level 3 for plus 25% regeneration. Then we have Salamanda. What can I actually give her as a name? As I went through this for hours before I did this. Burger Fry. These are our characters. One last time. You can pause at any time if you want to see this in more depth. Oh, right, and she needs to use her thing. She's going to be my fire mage with concentration. Make sure I actually wrote names for everyone. I did. No spelling errors. Everyone's got what they need. They don't have any extra attributes sitting around. Nope. We're ready, Rhodey. This is it. So this concludes our character creation. I'm going to stop the recording and start it again.